All right. Hi, everyone. Great to have you on. This training is always on Zoom, so I can record it and also so you can be actually practically holding your phone because it's a real like working meeting. So great to have you all on. So, week one in this training, we talked about the whole principle of like, comment, and message, waking social media up. What that means is you're not just going to get on Facebook and ghost and scroll and just, it doesn't, the algorithm doesn't reward that. In fact, it punishes you if you get on there and just kind of scroll and do nothing with it. It's social, it's rewarding your social behavior. And that's what we want this training to keep reminding people. It does require you to be social on social media. And so, what you're really going to do early on is choose some people, go up to your friends, for example, like go up to your profile, look at friends, and just start to look at names. And it's actually going to prompt you. I always to encourage people use this anyway to write down some of maybe your next 10 or 20 names that you're also going to believe to be in conversation with about this opportunity. But what you're doing first with them is you're going to like one of their posts, you're going to comment on their post, and then you're going to, in the comment, leave a question when you're posting. So, what you're really trying to do underneath people when they're posting something is say I was looking at what Chris and Andrew were doing on their Facebook, I would like it, I would comment, and I would ask a question. Oh, is your garden open to the public, right? Or whatever they were posting about, I would ask a question. This is all public. So you're not going to ask a private question, obviously, there. You might say, kids are growing up. What grades are they going into this year? You're using the conversation as if you were at a party and you were doing what I'd call small talk. And so that is called liking and then commenting. Then messaging means that you get over into their DM if you feel like the conversation can go there and you can keep a conversation going. Or they might ask a question back to you and you're not going to answer it publicly. You're going to go over to their DM because these people you might not have their phone numbers of, and you're going to go over to the DM and keep the conversation going. So the great thing is you want to pick about 5 people, 10 people, you just choose that, maybe one a day. The big practice is don't use social media for just scrolling and kind of numbing out. Use it as a business tool, like really see it like a business tool. Don't see it just as a scroll. So yeah, do that. That's the first one. The second thing we talked about last week was you starting to acknowledge some of your interests. So when you are going to begin posting, we want you to be interesting. We want people to not just think, oh, she's coming online to post about a new business, although that's really, really exciting. We want you to think about 5 buckets of interests that you have. So Martin's on today. He's got a real interest in golf and he's got a real interest in travel. And so he's not just a Lifeway brand partner, he's so much more than that. And so we want social media to begin to know you as more than just a Lifeway brand partner. And so we asked last week in the training you to just start writing down some of your interests and thinking about the practice of posting once a day, maybe Monday to Friday, on something that is of interest, or reposting is fine as well, as long as you say why you're reposting something. The worst, not the worst, nothing's bad. It's always just practice. So when I say the worst, but a lot of people repost other articles or other things, but they don't say why that means something to them and why they're reposting it. So if you're going to repost maybe something on maybe it's a political issue. Maybe it's, I'd say early on, like depending on how niche you want to go, politics may not need to be the first thing you post on. But if you do, because that's one of those five areas that you're going to show up really passionate about, which is fine, you're going to find your tribe that way. What you want to do is repost maybe something that you've read, but you want to say why that resonates with you. So I read this article, it really fascinated me. I read about the way they spray our food or something, but this is why that matters to me. So you're going to always just do a little caption so that you're saying why you're reposting. The third thing we're going to talk about today is two things: your own profile, what it's going to say on your profile, and the second thing, joining groups. So I'll teach now for about 10 minutes, then we'll come back and we'll recap. I'll stop recording, we'll recap what it was like for people this week. So let me just get out my notes on this. Okay, so we're going to start here. We're going to start with a profile, a little quick profile recap on what you would put in our profile. If you don't know where your profile is, profile means it's your name, your picture, your banner, what is going on for you. So I'll show you where that is on mine. Profile looks like you go in Facebook, you go down to the little menu down there, and you come up to your name here and you will just start to look at what's your picture, what's your banner, and we're going to have a little look at our actual profile there. The reason why we're going to look at profile today is because before you get into groups, which is going to be what we discuss now, just widening your circle a little bit. Again, you're not going to do all this overnight. You're not going to have to be in groups all day, but we're just getting your social media social again. So the reason why I want to do that is in groups, especially when people don't know you, they're going to go check you out in your profile and have a little quick look at what's going on for you, who you are, and what does your profile say up there as well. So everyone got that? Just give me a thumbs up. Those that are on, just practically. Love you to go to it right now. Write in the comments in this chat today, what do you have so far in your profile? What does it say about you? What have you got so far? There's no right or wrong to this, but what does it have? We're going to have a look a little bit as well at your about profile too, but that's going to be a step two. So just put it in the chat, the kind of things that you've got. Um, yeah, it's locked. Yeah, I understand. Again, your profile can be locked. That's not a problem. I think I would also put it out there though. Your profile doesn't have to have number, phone number, things like that. But if you're going to be in business, you do have to be a little bit more open to what is Facebook, what's going to be locked, who you're going to be on Facebook with. Obviously, if you choose to be on Facebook only with friends, for example, and we'll talk about that later, like who your profile can be seen to, that's fine. If you've got like 10 friends, 20 friends, 30 friends, and they're going to be your target audience for this business, then that's fine. That's up to you. This is your business. You don't have to have 500 friends to make a difference. In fact, I was on some training, which I'll be recapping on when I've tested the theory on Pinterest right now, actually. Some training on Pinterest as a search optimization platform, not a social media platform. And one thing this girl said, which was amazing, is you could have 50 friends, but if five of them partner with you in whatever your business is, then you've done better than most people who have 500 or 1,000 friends and don't get any engagement or any partnerships or business from those people. So don't ever worry about numbers and size of your friendship group. Although going into groups, we're going to really believe to increase that a little bit. Love this. Angie and Dave, Biohacker, Age Optimization. Andrea, your high school. High school's amazing. It's a great place to search for other people. Again, just widen those circles a little bit as well. Um, yeah, you can change that a little bit. Self-employed, entrepreneur, love that. That's already going to show people a little bit who you are as well, Martin. That's great. Okay, so what we're going to do with your profile, just a few things to keep in mind, is we're going to look at your profile photo. So that's the little photo in the actual circle, not the banner for Facebook. That's the little circle picture that you have. I'll use an example when Sue Dux updated her profile picture, she had 86 comments or and then it hit over 100 comments just in her updated picture. Just people being incredibly friendly and lovely, like, oh, you look fantastic, Sue, or this or that, or haven't seen you in a while. When you change your profile photo, social media rewards a wider range of people and a wider reach. So that becomes one of those waking up your social media moments. It's not about like how great is the photo, although we would say this is going to be like make your face visible. Let there be some good light. Let it feel meaningful to you, like why that picture means something to you. Try not to wear sunglasses. Don't have this be a group shot. That can be the big picture later. If you want your family in the shot, you can talk about that later. Um, because this answers the question, especially when you go into groups and start meeting strangers on social media or people that haven't known you before. Who am I talking to? Who am I engaging with? Who am I doing business with? Who am I getting to know? So this is where you want one of those pictures. So your homework this week is to get one of those pictures. Maybe pop it in the chat if you want, to say, hey, I'm got to pick from one, two, or three pictures. Which one would you choose? Put that over in the social media chat on WhatsApp if you'd like, and we can give our feedback. This is an introduction picture. Again, you can change this all the time, although I say maybe the first you can change one, two, or three kind of quickly, but then you want to leave it because people are going to get used to seeing your profile picture come up over their feeds, and you don't want it just to be changing all the time. So that is your little profile picture, okay? So pick one, two, or three pictures. We'll help give feedback on it. And then you're going to upload it, and we're going to tell you what to do when you upload it in a minute. The second thing that we want you to do is the cover photo. So this cover photo is, when I'm talking about cover photo, this is up there. Now we're not going to go into brand if you haven't done a branding coaching session with us, or you don't have one of our branding pages from Fast Track. You may not have worked with us yet. You may have done some branding elsewhere, some training on like who are you, what's your brand, and do you have other businesses? That's always going to be some of these questions here too, because we have no problem that Facebook is where you promote this business. Annette, you have, another grocery delivery business. Andrea, you've got multiple businesses. You can have it be a place where people just know you're multi-focused in what you do in business, or you have another job, you're a teacher, whatever it is that you do. So, but if you do have like a brand, something that overarches who you are, then this is what we call free real estate. Your profile up here, this whole banner, is basically like where people first go, oh, this is who she is, and this is what she offers or he offers. That's if you have a brand. Now, your brand might be, I don't know, you might want to say, let there be light. It might just be LifeWave focus. So you might want to have like your word. Again, if we have done a branding page for you, then you might want to have like the picture from your branding page, or if someone else has done a landing page for your business, then you might want to have that up the top there. A lot of people put a family picture if you want that. Some people don't want to be as public as that, but it's what we call free real estate. And it needs to be a long picture. So you're looking at one that's much more landscape and something that's just going to cover. It might be a favorite place that you've gone to. This is where you get to be fairly interesting with what you want this picture to look like. So this is called your cover photo. And a lot of people change this one more regularly than they do their profile one so that their profile pic can stay that familiar face and their cover photo can be that thing that maybe as they travel, they update every month or two. It's the one that can show a little bit more about your life. So it can be lifestyle, it can be family, it can be a message, just a simple like one-liner message help, ChatGPT would say things to me like helping women build a beautiful and bold life, right? If that was one of my kind of words that ChatGPT is picking up from me. This is not where you want it to be super busy and too many heavy graphics in it, no hard sells necessarily. For a while, when I first was in LifeWave, I took time to warm up Facebook and then I held a picture without my face of just the little patch, not saying LifeWave, not saying X39, just the patch itself. That immediately piqued curiosity. So just get ready for what that profile picture is going to look like. Okay, thirdly, your bio section. This is where we love to say two words around bio. I always do anyway. I always say be human before you sell, right? So this is where you're being human. Like this is your bio. This is who I am. What do I love? Who do I help? What am I passionate about? I'll put some of this in our WhatsApp training as well. So, this is where you would say, like, okay, Martin, so just a little bit of feedback, but again, you can work your own strategy in ChatGPT. But this is where we love if you're on Facebook or Instagram, put your own bio in your ChatGPT. If you use ChatGPT and say, critique my bio for me, like give me feedback on my bio. So Facebook would say to me personally, not necessarily just to write like entrepreneur, DM me for more info. Like I've well-rounded my posts more than just that I'm in business. Other people use their Facebook only for business. But what we do want to do is make it relatable. So use language that is understanding for people, but also, again, this is where you get to talk about your five bits of interest, like your five buckets, as we call them. So, world traveler or like something golfer or something that again just makes you go this is what who I am and who I'm proud of being. This is where you get to just have a little bit more what I'd call fun and stay super like human about this. So any questions on profile? So the picture is clear, a bit more upfront of your face. The profile one is a bit more of an interest or a family or a travel or a brand. And then your actual bio is where you want some of your buckets, your interests to be actually expressed there. So any questions around that?
You probably one, Vanessa, if you're putting in that one of your interests is LifeWave or X39, can we use those words or no? So what would you
No,
put instead?
I would I say wouldn't only because then they're going to
Yeah,
go search
compliance. Yeah, yeah,
X39
understand.
LifeWave. So you would say light-based wellness maybe or
Yeah.
wearable light therapy or so mine for example on my Instagram it says we go to my profile it says here my banner says Soulful Success can be yours. Join the sisterhood just because I have a free community that I love bringing people into. Then I say regenerative technology is the future. Now, I actually need to change mine because I say the word heal your body and brain with light. I shouldn't say the word heal, it's not compliant. So I don't want to start off a bad habit for you. And then I write Sovereign Saints because it's a ministry of ours. So for me, my Instagram is a lot more like who am I and what am I saying up there. So
Hmm.
regenerative technology is the future is more like a statement. On Facebook, I am much more, I don't even say LifeWave on Facebook. I say married to my soulmate, tag Andrew Hoyes, mother to four feminine and fierce girls, soulful success coach and lover of God. So I'm, just pitching myself in the faith-based kind of environment. And I don't personally say light, they're light, but it's my main thing I post about. But again, I like to tell people I'm 2 years in this business, so I'm proud to say LifeWave early on because I don't care if people Google and then don't like it. I'm not looking like, but I wouldn't say do that early. I would say when you're first coming into the Facebook world, stay super curious about the word and don't use LifeWave. Yeah. Hope that helps. But really get have play with it this week. What you're going to do on ChatGPT is just say, these are my 5 different interests I have. Help me write a profile. This is how I want to show up. These are the people I want to attract on social media, the kind of people I want to attract. So last bit of homework is we won't go into groups. I'll talk more about the purpose of groups, but your homework is once you do it, post in the WhatsApp chat that you're doing it. If you want to play around with words and want our feedback on it, use a little poll in WhatsApp and say, what do you think? We'd love to help you and engage with you on that process. When you go to update your photo, your little profile pic, every single person that's going to comment on that, your job, and you want to be ready for this, is within 24 hours of updating your pic, and then 48, and then 72. So really give yourself just a few minutes each day to thank everyone that has liked or commented on your updated profile picture, because this is one of your, again, opportunities to come up front on people's profiles. Everyone is going to see Andrea changed her picture or Martin changed his picture if they're kind of anywhere around you, even if you haven't come up on their feed in a long time. So keep in mind, you want to say thank you so much for the comment if someone's commented, and you want to ask a question back. So anyone that has come up again on your social media, what you want to do is then go to their profile, their page, like or comment on something that they've just done, and now all of a sudden it's like you've found each other at a party. And at that party, what you're going to do is basically say, great to see you. It's been ages. And just start to look at each other's, especially you're going to go and look at some of their previous posts. So when you do change the picture, just make sure you give yourself a little bit of margin of time. The quicker you do it and you respond to people, the more Facebook's going to reward you. If you go to update the long picture on top of Facebook, write a comment or two on why that feels important to you. Where was the picture taken? Why are you doing it right now? What do you want to say about 2026? Maybe it's like you want to speak out your word across 2026 or say something. So it's another post that is going to get a lot of traction to your audience on social media. So those two things before you do them, just make sure you have, 15 minutes or so a day just to respond to those things, because it's a really huge momentum moment for you on Facebook and you just don't want to waste that time.
Vanessa, you wouldn't do both at the same day, would you? You'd better to do one and then do the other, 4 days later or something. Would that be better? Oh, sorry, Vanessa. Did you hear that? Hello? Hello?
I think she's frozen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was
good,
just saying
a good question. Yeah.
do it probably a few days
But
apart.
I don't know the answer.
I oh, I personally would do it a few days apart because they get a lot of traction when you do a new profile picture or a new background picture. So you don't,
Yeah, even a week apart, Anton, maybe.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
also, when people keep changing their profile picture a lot, it gets really suspect and weird.
Yeah, true.
Scammers tend to do that. Like
Yeah, people
when
get
I when I get
suspicious.
when I get friend requests and all they've got is profile pictures, and you're like, yeah, okay. You
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
a
No.
life. You in fact probably don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it,
So,
when you get strange
so I've
requests?
come on.
Quite a few of them.
Oh, yeah, just don't go there. Like they're sus. So
Yeah.
yeah. But so I've come on very late. So who wants to summarize what just happened? A good way to teach what you learn by teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanessa's well and truly frozen, hasn't she? Like, where has she gone? You think she's unless yeah. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
well,
Okay.
I'll go for it. Okay, profile picture to update it and be ready to answer the likes. Say thank you very much. And then I think she said to follow up with a question, but I something like that.
Yeah. And put in what what your 5 interests are as well. Or
Oh yeah.
your 5 buckets. So that sort of engages people. And like your cover photo, like she was saying, it's like your branding. It's like your free real estate up the top there. But also what she did say is that you want to change your profile picture. Get 2 or 3, put it in the WhatsApp group, and then people will say what they think is the best one to do. And also just if you're doing your bio as well, put that in the chat so then people can critique that
Right.
and help out with that as well. So
And what was it?
Yeah.
Just with
Oh,
the
that's great.
thank you in. Like when they say, "Oh, I love," they comment. What was the guidance there to
so
like it and say thank
yeah.
you? But wasn't there a third step, third question or something?
Well, if they make a comment on your new profile picture, then you comment back, thank you very much, and maybe even ask them a question. Oh, I haven't seen you for ages, or how's things with you, or you might look at their profile picture and say, oh, it looks like you've had a great holiday, or just make a comment because then it gets more engagement, and then that obviously helps with all
Yeah,
the
got it.
algorithm
Yeah,
and
thank
everything.
you.
So, and
I
not
knew
that
it was
I'm a
something like
social
that.
media guru at all, but
Yeah, yeah.
No, well said.
Vanessa ended the Zoom because her Zoom dropped out. She said
yeah,
she'll post the recording.
yeah.
Great.
That's cool.
Thanks, Kerry.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah, have a great
Yep,
day,
no worries.
everyone.
You
See you then.
too.
Thank you.
See ya.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Hi guys.